Okay, so this is the 5th video on how to build a Pong game in Scratch. I'm going to show you how to do two things in this video. We're going to edit our script a little bit to make the game more complex, so it's more interesting for the user. And we're also going to add a scoring system. Okay, so to start off, what we're going to do is I'm just going to tweak a little bit of our script here, and what I would like to do is I just want to add in a little bit which is going to mean that when the ball bounces off the bat, it will bounce off in a totally random direction. Okay, so as I say, it will add a little bit of complexity to the game. So to do this, we need to go up to motion. We want to have turn. Use this one. Turn over this way. Drop it so it's just underneath the pointing direction. And in this one here, I'm going to put an operator, and I'm going to say pick a random number between, and I am going to put between 15 and 45. Okay, I'm just going to do exactly the same here. Use the same. Okay, go to my operators, dropping in this, and exactly the same. Make it 15 to 45. And what this should do, if I just run the game now, okay, when I run the game now, it should bounce off in a random direction. There you go. Excellent. Okay, so what we want to do now is we're going to introduce our scoring system. So I'll just put us back to big view so we can see our script again. I'll just move this right up. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is we need to create our two variables. Now remember, a variable is a number in the game that is subject to change. Okay, so it's a variable because obviously as player one score builds up, the number will change, the number will go up, the higher score you will get, so on and so forth. So we need to add our two variables. So we're going to go to our variables window, we're going to make a new variable, we're going to call it player one score. Okay. We also need another variable because obviously there's two players in this game, so we're going to player two score. Okay, so we've got our two variables. We can see it scratches very nicely as well, put in two scoring displays on our game. Okay, so first of all, what we need to do, when the mouse is first clicked, we need to reset the scores to 0. So to do that, we're going to say set. So when clicked, set player one score to 0. When clicked, set player two score to 0. Okay. We also now need to include some more if statements. So one if statement for each bat, or each player, sorry. So I'm going to go down, where's my if statement? I'm dragging my if statement out here. Okay, so I need to say if the ball touches pink, increase player 2 score by 1. Okay, so we need to say if the ball touches, so it's sensing, touching colour. Okay, if it touches player 1's pink, and there's our pink colour there, we need to change the player 1 score. In fact, it's not player 1 score when the pinks touch, it needs to change player 2 score by 1. When this happens, we want the ball to reset and go back to the middle of the screen, so we need to set our X and Y coordinates. So of course, remember, when we go for the middle, it is 0, 0. I'm going to just create a little bit of a pause, because obviously when a player's died you need a little bit of time just to get ready for the next one. So we're going to put a little wait in, so we'll put 2 seconds. So where's wait? 2 seconds. I've gone too far. There we go. Wait. And make him wait 2 seconds. Okay. And then we want to make sure that if it is player 1 who has died, that the ball gets returned to the opposite team. Okay, so what we need to do here is we're just going to put in a point in direction. I'm going to choose pick random number from my operators. So pick a random number, drop it into the 90 box. Just drop my script back over here so we can see it. And this is important on this first one. So it's if the pink colour is touched. Okay, we want it to go. Let me just think here. My coordinates between 225 degrees and 315 should be about right. Okay. Now we're going to use this script twice, and I'm going to duplicate it and then use it for the other score and then clip it onto the bottom. Okay, but for this one we need to do a couple of slight changes. Obviously the colour touching will be different, so we want to do this one for if green's touched. Now we need to increase the player 1 score if green's touched. Okay, and I'm just going to change my coordinates to be, let me think, 45 degrees up to 135 degrees. I'm going to drop my script now just above our move 5 steps, so there. So we'll just see that it's on, see it in all its marvel. So we've got when green flag is clicked, set the scores to 0, move the ball to the middle of the screen. The ball will move into a random direction chosen by this script. If the ball touches bat 2, point in the opposite direction and set off at a random degrees. If it touches bat 1, point in the opposite direction and spin off at a random degrees. We've then got, if the pink colour is touched, you increase player 2 score by 1, the ball moves back to the middle of the screen, waits 2 seconds, then starts again. If it touches the green band, player 1 score is increased by 1, it moves back to the middle of the screen, waits 2 seconds, then points in a random direction. And this script here, remember, controls the movement of our ball. So let's try it, let's see if this works. So we've still got our bouncing moment. We might need to adjust that a little bit because obviously that's a bit of a slow bounce. Okay, score has gone up for player. So we know 1's working fine, so let's just see if player 2 can score. Is it going to work? Boom. We've got a problem. And we've got a problem because yes, it is, it's working fine. Look, there's the player 1 score going up. Now let's just recover and see if we can score on this side. Yes, there you go, our script works. So that is the end of video 5. Have a go, make sure you check your script. Here's just the last one so you can have a quick view of mine. I'll move down very slowly. Happy tweeting. What you need to do is make sure you set all your variables and setting names and colours and settings correctly, but this should work.